That's what I got for you. Cool. GTA 6 boss says more people are pre-ordering the $100 version of the game. Now, that's how you should feel if you're a good consumer and not a corporate cocksucker. But if you like to do tricks on the corporation dick, you probably feel, yes, our team's winning, our team's winning. Bro, you're not getting a check. Shout out to Mac and Finesse with the subs. Appreciate you. Shout out to Boing Shaboing TV. Shout out to Shaboing TV and Saint with the sub. Shaboing said you inspired me to quit smoking weed and take my health seriously. A couple of days with no weed and eating good, and I'm feeling exceptional. I don't personally smoke weed, but I mean, I'm not against it either. You know, just be responsible with that shit, because motherfuckers can be addicted to that shit. You don't gotta, I mean, unless you want to. That's just I would say do it because that's what you want to do. You feel me? But if you finding happiness in it, cool. Wow, 100 with no gameplay. I know, right, Barrio? Welcome to the stream. Yo, shout out to G Paul. God damn, can we get to the fucking article? God damn. Yeah, I've been waiting to quit weed for a while. Hey, then more power to you. Long as you're doing it for yourself, that's all that matters. Yo, shout out to Royal Static with the sub. Shout out to G Paul with the $36 donation. I owe you 5. But yeah, no gameplay. Still, more people than ever are pre-ordering the $100 edition of GTA, which doesn't surprise me, man. Corporate droneism is on the fucking rise. I remember when you used to get shamed and made fun of when you were a fucking corporate drone. Now you get made fun of when you're not. It feels like Dave Chappelle has manifested. Shout out to Cygnus with the super chat. It feels like Dave Chappelle has manifested the Mad Real World skit where I'm in a house full of crazy ass people, and because I'm not crazy, I come across as the one who's crazy. The level of excuses for the corporation. So here's exactly, I don't even need to read the article because I already found the clip. Here's exactly what was said. It's a 2-minute clip if you want to hear what the CEO is talking about. I get the vibe this guy doesn't play video games, but I'm gonna let it rock.
Strauss Zelnick is here, CEO of Take-Two Interactive. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Look at that face, man. Look at that face. We're about to rob all you niggas. He said that stock is going through the roof.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want this. And what are you seeing? Nice
looks
to see
really
you.
good. So obviously pre-orders have gone much better than expected. So our excitement continues to grow.
And you know what? I don't think he's lying when he says pre-orders are going much better than expected. If you're not following, that's corporate speak for, wow, these motherfuckers are stupid. We haven't shown shit. We thought that the pre-orders would come in slow because we haven't shown anything. But our fan base are fucking morons.
And you have to deliver, though. I mean,
yes.
I assume you think that you've nailed this thing because there's been a long wait. Trust me, my children.
Yeah, they fell for it. They really did.
You know, we never claim victory.
Shout out to Ariel with the super chat.
I know that our Rockstar Games division has tried to innovate and understands that as great as the anticipation is, we need to exceed expectations. I believe that we will.
Are they pre-ordering the 90?
I disagree. I do think fans of Grand Theft Auto will be satisfied with the product, but I don't know if it'll meet expectations. And to be fair to Rockstar, it has nothing to do with Rockstar. It has everything to do with their fan base. The unfortunate thing, and I've joked about it on the stream a million times, but in case you haven't heard it, the unfortunate thing about the Rockstar fan base is they've allowed their imagination to run wild. Anything and all things that the imagination can create, they believe is going to be in GTA 6. Man, listen, bro. We gonna go to the moon. We gonna smoke on moon rocks. Then we gonna take the shit back down to Miami. Me, my mans, and his mans gonna each have their own yacht. We gonna have bad bitches doing backflips on the front of the fucking yacht. And then we gonna hop into a speedboat that transforms into the bat plane. And then we gonna go fight crime in Liberty City. And that's just gonna be mission number 1. They really be doing this shit, bro. They really did. They just be making shit. Yeah, right. 20v1. And then when the day over, when we done saving Liberty City, we gonna take a private jet back to Vice City, and we gonna participate in a 20v1 just like Drake. We gonna get a big titty goth bitch just like Drake.
$9.99 one or the $79.99
Both.
one? Both. Okay.
Yes.
At equal.
Actually, it is skewing more to the premium edition, but that might be a reflection, again, of the fact that the most avid consumers are the ones who are pre-ordering.
What
now.
do you get in the $100 version that you don't get in the?
You get additional content.
And then
You get content that was cut out of the original version.
the other question I had is what kind of discounting you think is going to happen or not around Christmas? Because obviously this is coming out in November. Is there a shift in pricing as people get closer to Christmas, or do you try to hold the price? How much of it is up to you versus retailers, et cetera?
Well, we obviously
Shout out to Mystic Vibes with the sub. Appreciate it.
establish our pricing.
Right.
And then storefronts can do what they wish. We don't have any ability to control that. So if they reduce the price, they're obviously reducing their margin on the sale. There are situations where
Nothing about the gameplay. He said that stores are allowed to charge what we want. We recommend that they charge $80 to $100 for the version, but the stores are allowed to charge what they want. If they charge less, it'll reduce their margins. Nothing about the gameplay. Margins.
there are certain retailers will price down to drive demand for other things that they sell. And I can't tell what will happen. I will tell you that we preserved our pricing on Grand Theft Auto 5 for a very long time, much longer than a standard release of an entertainment property.
Translation: GTA fans are fucking drones. They buy it for the PS3, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox Series, and the PC. Then 5 years later, when they upgraded their PC, they bought it again. They just can't stop buying this shit, bruh.
What's happened to the pricing of that product now?
Well, eventually it comes down over time, sure.
But how?
So therefore, we don't have to lower the price. Which, by the way, this is actually a great moment right here. This is what I talk about on the stream all the time. The power is in, and I know we're gonna fail this test, but I'm still gonna preach it just for the sake of, because we gotta put the tools out there. The power is in the people, right? If we all collectively said we don't like the business practices that they're making, within 3 months they would drop the price on this shit. And this has nothing to even do with Grand Theft Auto. This is any product, okay? The PlayStation 6 comes out, we don't like the price. If we all agree not to buy it, the price will drop within 3 months. And he's literally telling you right here. He just said, we didn't drop the price on GTA 5 for a very long time because you motherfuckers cannot stop buying it, bruh. Supply and demand. If there is no demand, they have to drop the price to create a demand. Where they at? Welcome, scammers, from Miss Watts' stream. I like the title of your stream, Watts. It's just horse armor. Why does it matter? You came in at the perfect time.
Eventually it comes down over time, sure.
But how much does it come down?
Well, it depends. I mean, we've offered it for as low as, I think, $20 here.
I want to ask you about something that seems very different in terms of what you're doing with Netflix on August 27th. So it's GTA 6, an extended look. What is this going to, can you tell us a little bit about this? I mean, is this like an extended?
Apparently they plan to support GTA 5 online after 6 releases. Of course they will. Shout out to Miles with the sub. Logically speaking, why would they shut down the servers of GTA 5? Think about all the PS4 niggas that's still out there. The majority of PS5 people are going, and the Xbox Series are going to go get GTA 6. But GTA 6 is not coming to PS4, so they gotta milk the PS4 players, right? This is going to be the new boat. The new 2K boat is going to be on the PS4.
Is it a game trailer? Is it a movie? Is it a show? What
You
should
have
we
asked
expect?
all the questions that will be answered on the 27th,
Oh, come on,
I
Strauss,
expect
you're
you to
not
show
A little
up.
bit of a hint.
The hint is, I think it's really worth watching.
I don't know, man. Like, I get he's the CEO of Take-Two and like he's a businessman, but like I don't get the vibe that like, and I could be wrong. He could have a great poker face. Let's be fair. He could have a great poker face, but it feels like there's nothing there for the passion of the art. Like for me, if I genuinely felt like I had an ace up my sleeve, oh, y'all gonna see. Trust me, you're gonna see shit that's gonna blow your mind. Yeah, he doesn't seem hyped enough. He just is like, I think we'll deliver. I don't know if we can trust it. Yo, shout out to Cygnus with the super chat. Appreciate it.
Really worth watching. And 6 hours after the initial premiere, it'll be on Rockstar's YouTube channels, and of course, it will make its way all over social media.
He's always like this, to be fair to him. That's why I said it could be like a poker face. So, I mean, he's letting people know that, like, I think the biggest takeaway here is that they were genuinely surprised how many people pre-ordered the $100 edition. I think they were probably expecting more people to go for the $80 edition, especially after, keep in mind, 6 months leading up to the announcement of the price, there was a rumor that the base version was gonna be $100, and a lot of people were saying, I ain't buying that shit if it's $100. And then they announced the $100 edition, and y'all bought it. So I think he saw all the sentiment online, and he was just like, yeah, I expect the $80 edition to go. But whoa, wait a minute. They're really buying the fucking $100 edition. And I think it's gonna embolden them. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a plan A, where if the $80 edition was the main one that was selling, but because the $100 edition is the main one selling, they're probably going to plan B, and the plan B is the one that they really want to do, where they're gonna just put microtransactions out the woo-wah in this goddamn game. Not the single player. I'm not talking about the single player, but I'm talking about when the GTA Online comes out. When the GTA Online comes out, we might see the most egregious shit we've ever seen. Yo, shout out to Airbags with the super chat. Appreciate it. They're going to charge for the online version when it comes out. I really hope that that's not true. I hope that my prediction on that is not true. I feel like that's going to really be a test for the gaming community, where they charge $80 for the single player and then another $80 for the multiplayer. And then what if they charge $80 for an entry fee to the multiplayer and there's a subscription service like World of Warcraft? And the way they justify it is they're like, look, these servers are online 24/7. We're letting you customize them however you want. This is a live service game. We need money for the servers, bro. GTA fans gonna be like, bro, they spent $1 billion on the game. I have to give them my money. It's only 20 back in the day. That's 20, the $100 edition. Lost it. Fuck. Stop giving them ideas. I'm not trying to. They sure haven't announced online when it'll be available yet. I don't think the online will be there at launch, because they made it very clear that what we're about to see is a single player experience, which I'm curious to see how the GTA community responds to that. Because at this point, as much as it pains me to say, GTA's primary identity is the online. It's not the single player. I think the old heads are excited for the single player because that's what they grew up on, you know, GTA 3, Vice City, and then Andreas and GTA 4. But GTA 5 was a turning point. GTA 5 is more of a Zoomer game. That's what's kept the game alive, not the single player. It's been the multiplayer. So I am curious to see that when they only show the single player, will there be a portion of the audience that goes, man, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Where the fuck is T Grizzly server at? I wonder if it'll piss them off, which would be funny. It'll further prove that we're in a literacy crisis. Because to be fair to Rockstar, they've made it very clear that this is going to be a single player experience that they're revealing. The multiplayer is coming later. You know how they'll respond. They're slow. The canon event, they're gonna charge for the online. They started doing it for GTA 5 online this generation. Weenie's been free. I'm curious to see if they do start charging for the online. Will that be the breaking point for people, or it's like, man, this is too much, I can't do it? Or people bend over and take it and be like, no, I love Rockstar, they would never do me dirty. I hope it's the first answer. Only time will tell how this plays out. But yep, just a quick update from an interview that Take-Two CEO did. They're feeling good, feeling great. Is GTA Plus going to be like the COD nowadays? That I don't know. Funny enough, speaking of Call of Duty, little side story. I got invited to the. Yo, shout out to N7 Med with the sub, appreciate it. I got invited to the Call of Duty Next event, and I told them niggas no. I was just like, I don't care, bro. Like, you have to pay me to play fucking Modern Warfare 4. Like, I'm wasting my fucking time on that damn game, bro. Like, if I did a preview video for that wouldn't even do anything for me, bro. I just get the vibe they're kind of desperate. Which, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Call of Duty is desperate. They're in a very bad position this year. GTA is gonna eat, because GTA is the premier ball and gun game. That's gonna eat their lunch. 2K could potentially eat their lunch, but then you have all these amazing single player games coming out. Plague's Tale, Marvel. I mean, Marvel Token's multiplayer, but Marvel Token just came out. You got Avatar. You got Beast of Reincarnation, motherfucking Wolverine, Phantom Blade Zero, Mortal Shell 2. It's just so many games coming out that, like, it's putting. If you're a multiplayer only gamer, like, why the fuck would you pick Call of Duty? Yeah, Onimusha. Why would you pick Call of Duty this year over everything else? I'm not gonna say it isn't gonna sell. It might sell when it goes on sale, but like day one, I think this is gonna be the year we might see Call of Duty really struggle. And it's funny too, because it might be a decent game this year. I don't know. It might be a decent year. It doesn't look like it's gonna be Modern Warfare 3. That shit was fucking horrible, but it's gonna further. Oh yeah, Star Wars Racers. It's just a lot of competition this year. A lot of competition this year. But yeah, they sent me an email. They was like, "You want to come to the Call of Duty Next event?" I knew them niggas at Activision are fucking desperate when you invite me to a Call of Duty event. I looked at that email, I felt insulted. I said, why the fuck would you even send me this shit, bruh? It must have been a lot of content creators that told them no for them to get to the bottom of the barrel and reach out to my fucking ass, bruh. Y'all niggas know I hate y'all. Shout out to Ariel Smoke with the super chat. They said, who's left? Black guy. Shout out to Ariel Smoke with the super chat. JG calling them bendovers. I call them corporate bussy boppers. Whoa, bruh. You said they didn't even send a check. They would never cut me a check. I'm not that important. The status that I'm at, I get free game codes. The companies that cut checks for me are like the smaller games. Those mid-tier games, those mid-tier AAA games where like they're AAA in quality, but they don't have like the hype behind them. They'll cut a check. But like the Call of Duties of the world, I'm not important enough. They get those checks go to like Tim the Tap Man and what's that nigga name? Nade Shot and shit like that. Those are the ones who get the checks. But I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't want a Call of Duty check because that comes with a lot. And I wouldn't want to deal with that. Brands are annoying to deal with. Shout out to LL BJ and shout out to Manny with the sub. Appreciate it. Why is Square Enix trending? Let me check because I don't want no weird shit popping up. Funny enough, I have that article saved. It's because of this article right here. Perfect segue. It was literally because of this article. Square Enix reveals that 90% of its sales are digital, but there is a catch. Square Enix has dropped its latest earnings report, and the numbers look almost definitive at first glance. A breakdown of unit sales across their global markets reveals that a staggering 90% of all game sales came from digital downloads rather than the packaged media. On paper, seeing over 9 out of 10 games sold digitally paints a clear picture. Physical media has slowly become a relic of the past, right? Well, not so fast, because once you look closely at how that percentage is formed, a major catch comes to light. What is the catch? According to the units sold breakdown in Square Enix's latest financial report, the publisher moved a total of 7 million units globally across North America, Europe, Japan, and the rest of the world. Out of that total, 6 million units were digital downloads, while the physical packaged games accounted for a meager 0.73 million. When you do the math, digital sales represent 90% of all units sold during that quarter, a staggering statistic that visually highlights just how tiny physical media slices become of their official balance sheets. While a 90% digital split makes it look like gamers are overwhelmingly choosing digital over physical by personal preference alone, market forces and availability play a far bigger role in driving that statistic than pure consumer choice. So let's think a bit about the recent moves and game releases from the Japanese company. For starters, you have to consider how accessible physical games actually are today. Finding a local brick and mortar store stocked with a wide selection of games is getting increasingly difficult depending on where you live, naturally pushing players towards the instant convenience of digital storefronts. That is a fact. I've been said that shit. I feel like this conversation of digital versus physical is a situation where Sony and these companies have created the problem and they're also trying to give you the solution, and they'll use data to say this is why we have to do this solution, but you need to look at the data a little bit closer because there is context. And I mean, if you actually think about it in your personal life, off the top of my head, if you go into Best Buy, they rarely have what you want. Target too. I haven't been to Target in like a year because we don't fuck with them no more. But the last time I was in Target, they be having old Switch games in there and shit like that. Usually if I buy physical, I get it off Amazon. You go into you go into GameStop, they have a wall full of PS4 games, the other wall full of Pokemon cards that they're scalping because fuck them niggas, bro. I had to get most of my games physical. Yeah, like the best place to order physical games would be either Amazon or like Best Buy's website. Their stores don't have no games, but Best Buy's website is a good place and they're good about delivering day one. So it's like, you can't say people don't want physical. It's just not an option usually. I don't know about Walmart because I don't really step foot in Walmart like that. But it's like, let's see what happens if there's a wide array of stuff. They've been slowly pulling it away from us and then telling us, oh, you guys didn't want it. It's like, no, it's not available. Only so many people can get it. You're turning it into a fucking collector's item. More importantly, Square Enix digital metrics are heavily inflated by releases that simply do not have a physical option at all. Digital-only releases such as the recent HD remasters of Final Fantasy X and X-2 for the Nintendo Switch 2 automatically funnel 100% of their buyers into the digital column. Ding, 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 ding. Then there's also the Final Fantasy Is that 16? Sized elephant in the room. I can't remember these damn Roman numerals. Square Enix is hugely 14. Popular MMORPG accounts for a colossal portion of its gaming revenue through expansions, microtransactions, and reoccurring digital subscriptions. When all those digital purchases are lumped together against standalone physical games, the comparison gets severely disordered. Once again, a digital-only game. Yeah, I get most of my games delivered day one. But I've noticed stores nearby get low stock on new games, and I live in a major city. Yeah, so it makes you feel like, what's the point of even going in the store? Because I know y'all ain't gonna have nothing, bro. I'm glad we still got physical. I just bought the Avengers game because it was delisted on digital. You like that game that much? You wanted to own it? You like it? We love it, man. Target will have new games in their inventory when it comes out. They will have them there until about a year. It might just be the Target that I've been to. That shit is trash. Let's see. The context becomes especially critical as the broader industry prepares for major structural shifts, such as reports pointing towards Sony phasing out physical disc production by early 2028. While publishers often point for 90% digital physicals to justify cutting physical production, relying solely on aggregated data ignores the millions of console players who still actively prefer collecting boxed games, trading physical copies, or displaying their favorite titles on their shelves. Yeah, my thing is like, if physical media was really dead, then a lot of these mom and pop stores would have been gone under. Yo, shout out to Straw Hat with the sub. Like, I'll give you an example. Out here in LA, there's a section, I think it's in Burbank. There's this shopping area. I went there like a couple weeks ago, and we just ended up there by accident. Like, it's just an entire strip of mom and pop shops with just collectibles, game magazines, VHS, DVD, games, old games and stuff. And I'm talking about, it's about 15, 20 of these stores and shit. They're everywhere. Like, there was some really good stuff in these stores. I was like, damn. I saw an old Captain America figurine from like the 1950s still in the box. I couldn't find the value on it because I was tempted to get it. So I'm like, if nobody's buying physical, why do I see all these people on these streets shopping here on a fucking Saturday? It's almost like if it's available, people will buy it. But the thing is that it's not available. I'm lucky enough that I live in the second most populated city in the United States. But if you live in cousin fuck Mississippi, things might be a little bit different, you know? If you live in toe-sucking Kansas, things might be a little bit different, you know? I know about 16 mama pop shops here in LA. It's a lot. It's a lot. And support them. I miss Play and Trade. They let you demo your pre-owned games, and then just in case you didn't like it, it was fire. At Walmart, you got to play Where's Waldo to find an employee to get the game. You also got to find an employee that knows what the fuck they talking about, bro. Because I swear to God, you can't find a Walmart employee that knows anything, bro. They all just hanging out. So while Square Enix's latest figures prove that digital storefronts are undeniably king, when you factor in MMOs, PC downloads, and digital-only remasters, the reality for traditional console releases is far more nuanced. This is facts. This is facts. I mean, look at the way that like they even launch games, right? Yo, shout out to Mormon Thug with the sub. Appreciate it. Y'all remember when in 2019, when Apex launched, they did a Beyonce album style drop. They shadow dropped that joint. And just a bunch of content creators streamed it. There was no physical for that. So of course EA can be like, yo, we got crazy digital sales. There's no physical copy of fucking Apex, bruh. We just had to watch people stream it, and he was like, you know what? I guess I'll check it out. I'll download it. There was never an option to buy the game. Because I guarantee you, if there was an option to buy a copy of Apex, some people would, if it came with like some premium stuff that you couldn't get in other versions. I get most of my PC parts from mom and pop's gaming stores because they probably give you a good deal. They probably want your reoccurring business, so they're gonna hook you up. Same with Fortnite and Marvel Rises, and they sold a lot, or Helldivers 2. True. So it just goes to show you, I think this is like the second or third article that we had where it's made the same argument where it's like, well, the numbers are skewed because physicals are just not available. It's almost as if Sony's lying. But we love Sony. Sony can never do us wrong. Sony is the greatest. All hail Plankton. All hail Plankton. That's what it really feels like right now. Between this GTA shit and Sony just fucking people. All hail Plankton. We love Sony. In PC news, Steam's shipping company has been hacked, but Valve says that your details are safe. So they say. Valve has confirmed that some customers' personal details may have leaked as part of a cyber attack on Siva's logistics. In an email sent to Steam account holders, details on what happened, what details are at risk, and what doing is going to amends were explained. The attack on the logistics, which is the company that ships Steam's hardware to customers in Europe, happened between Wednesday, July 29th and August 1st. On Friday, August 7th, Valve became aware of exactly what info leaked. Thankfully, no payment details, account passwords, or Steam guard codes have been accessed because they were never shared with logistics. Those affected may have seen their postal address, phone number, and email address recorded by hackers. Valve does reiterate that no other information could have been taken. just your house address, no big deal. You know, there will be some dumbass that reads this fucking art. Oh, thank God. Nigga, they got your phone number and your fucking house address, bro. I hope you got that pow on you, because you don't know. Just thank God. Valve does reiterate that no other information could have been taken, as it's never shared with logistic companies. Instead of having all the same account information as Valve does, Siva receives specific delivery-related information from Steam to be able to ship physical hardware to customers in Europe, and told us there are details the attacker likely took. Because Siva retains this information for up to 90 days after that order, we're sending this message to all customers we can assume were impacted, the email explains. This is also another issue with going with an all-digital future. If we're all digital on PC, Xbox, and Steam, and Nintendo, expect an influx of cyber attacks. See, when people can buy physical copies of things, the data's on the disc. So you don't have to put your data on the fucking console. And that's why some people like physical too. But if we're all locked into an ecosystem, all it takes is one evildoer to get your information. So why am I sharing this article? Me personally, when it comes to these cyber attacks, I don't trust no fucking corporation. Steam is probably one of the least evil, but they're still a fucking corporation. They're not to be trusted. I'm sharing this article for the simple fact is if you are a PC gamer, you should probably change your password. Just gonna go ahead and put that out there. It don't take but 2 minutes. Change your password just to be safe. That's what I've learned from these. I know I did. Just to be safe, because they're telling us one thing, but you have to keep in mind, they could be lying to save face while in the background they figured things out and hope that the bleeding is not too bad. So anytime this type of information comes out for any fucking corporation, you should always change your information, because look how light they're making of the situation. They said, oh, they didn't get your credit card information, just your house address. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't want my information to leak, period. But at least if your card leaks online and you see some fraud charges, you call your bank, they cancel the charges, they send you a new card. Niggas got your house address? They can pop up whenever. That's kind of dangerous. Yeah, set up two-step factor verification. That's kind of dangerous. And they made light of that shit, bruh. Yeah, you might have some goons and goblins popping up at your crib, but you know, no biggie. No, you'll be all right. At least you got a Steam machine that can barely play any games. They got your house address, but at least, you know, you can play. You got that Steam machine that lets you play games at 720p, 30 FPS on that old ass hardware for $1,500. You know, thank God for the Steam machine. Fucking goofy ass shit. That's what I said, man. Your only job ever is to be a good customer. That's it, bro. Yeah, and that's only what they told us. We only know what they told us. They could be lying. Always be safe and change your information when there's a data leak. Do you think the Steam Deck 2 will be worth it? Only time will tell when they reveal it. I can't speculate because I don't know what they expect. Only thing we know about the Steam Deck 2 is they said they will whip it out when they feel like hardware is advanced far enough to where they can make a significant enough change. They said that they do not want to take the route of like the iPhone, where like, or the, because I know you ass niggas don't want to hear this, but Samsung is just like Apple these days. Okay, they got a flip. It's still the same shit. These days, smartphones, every year they come out with a new one that's slightly better than the last one, and they said they didn't want to take that route. They wanted to make a significant jump. So whenever they release it, whenever they release it, which to them I say kudos. I don't like annual tech releases. I'm not gonna lie, if you buy a new smartphone every year, I'm not gonna lie, I think you low IQ. New phone, I don't care how many times it flipped. Oh, you got the Huawei that flipped 3 times? You got 3 times as less text because your shit is dry, nigga. We don't care. Shout out to Greetai with the sub. Appreciate it. Your shit is still dry. You got 3 screens and no text. Get the fuck out of here, you goofball. Work on yourself. Speaking of Steam Deck, though, the Steam Deck continues to improve. You can now stream PS Plus games to Steam Deck without owning a PS5 and without buying a PS Portal. A new cloud streaming app that lets players stream PlayStation games to their buying a new phone every year is like buying 2K every year, right? Nah, not necessarily. I see what you're trying to do, but not necessarily. Because not everybody spends thousands of dollars on VC. That's just the whales. You know, the average person is buying the game for $70 and maybe getting a little VC. Buying a smartphone every year, you're actively spending $1,000. If you buy a smartphone every year, you're actively putting yourself in $1,000 to $2,000 in debt every fucking year. That's why to me it's low. Like bro. And then if you look it up, the average American has $5,000 to $10,000 in debt, and they'll be like, I don't know how I got all this credit card debt. It's because you got a new fucking iPhone every year. Every year they announce a new iPhone, and these dumbasses getting interviewed by CNN talking outside the Apple store for the pre-orders. What'd you get it for, man? The bezels are thinner. Man, get this.
Mods, clean that chat. Get this bitch ass nigga out of here.
I hear that shit. The bezels are thinner. It's not the same. I see where you're going, but nah. There's more megapixels on the camera. Anyways, a new cloud streaming app that lets players stream PlayStation games to their Steam Deck and Steam Machine without a PS5 has just opened a playtest. Asobi Remote Play, not to be confused with the developers of the same name, has just entered public testing on the Steam Deck, Steam Machine, and other Steam OS or Linux devices. Streaming your own PS4, PS5 to a Steam Deck over your home network isn't new. Asobi and similar apps have supported that for a while. Well, before the PS Portal even existed, but as spotted by video cards, what's new here is PS Plus Premium cloud streaming specifically. With an active subscription, you can now pull games straight from the cloud catalog onto a deck or Steam Machine without any PS5 hardware. So basically, all you need is an internet connection and you can stream your PS5 games. You don't have to leave your PS5 on anymore and be connected to the internet. You can now just log into PlayStation and stream the games if you're on the go, which adds more value to the Steam Deck. You can also do this with the Game Pass. According to the chat, you can now do it with the Game Pass. Yeah, there's whales and there's krakens. The krakens are the big problem with, live service games, the whales and the krakens. So, yeah. Here, if you have, shit, that's not it. To really announce the playtest on the app, here's the subreddit. Here, if you have a Steam Deck and you're interested in trying it out, I'm dropping the Reddit link. Yo, shout out the black guy with the sub, appreciate it. It's a long ass link, my bad. I should have fucking shortened it. Anyways. Last but not least for this batch of articles, NBA The Run is getting an update. They're not giving up. August game update. Let's see what they're adding. The BBC link. The August game update is almost here today. In fact, delivering new ways to compete, roster and player updates, more options to communicate with teammates, and a variety of gameplay and balancing improvements. Today's August update, so it dropped today. And here's the patch notes. Leaderboards, self-explanatory. Who's the best in the game? That should have been there day one, but whatever. Can you climb into the top 3 and see your name in the bronze, silver, or even gold position? Prove it if you're truly one of NBA runs the GOATs. Player roster changes on their new teams, so they basically updated the jerseys on players. Updated player ratings. We're updating player ratings and in the zone abilities for a few players on new teams and the rookie players for balance. They added an emoji whale. Wow! Quickly communicate with your crew teammates from the main menu lobby using a variety of emojis. Coordinate your next match by letting teammates know you're ready to run it back. Or just fucking put voice chat in the goddamn game, bro. So I can scream in the mic, ready up, bitch ass nigga. New gameplay animations for blocking dunks, rebounding putback dunks, enhanced blocks, and rework of Darren Peterson's advanced spin move. So they're updating the gameplay balance and tuning. We've made a substantial tuning pass to improve overall balance and reward skillful play. Things were adjusted, including goaltending, steals, interceptions, rebounds, blocks, dunk consistency, in the zone, and several other core mechanics. We'll share the full breakdown in tomorrow's patch notes. This ain't the full patch notes? What the fuck? What's your handheld gaming console Mount Rushmore? I think my favorite handheld of all time, the PSP, that would be there. Number 1. Number 2 would be Game Boy Advance SP. Number 3, probably 3DS. And then number 4, out of respect, the OG Game Boy with the brick. I feel like the Vita would have been on my Mount Rushmore if Sony supported it. If Sony supported the Vita and then they didn't put those touch pads in the back and they just gave us L2 and R2, that would have changed the Vita, but so much potential lost. SP is top tier. Yeah, and you see how I specifically said that. Not Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP in specific. The clamshell design, wow, amazing. It's just something about, I'm on my shit and you just, same thing with like flip phones, man. Whatever, bitch ass nigga, just clamp that shit. Do the Switch count? Nah, because I count the Switch as a console more than a handheld. Actually, but it's a hybrid, so nah, I don't count it. No N-Gage, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. No Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy was not no fucking handheld. Get the fuck out of here. What up, Crazy Waltz? Game Boy Color. Nah, I would put the original Game Boy over the Game Boy Color just for the simple fact that Pokemon Red and Blue was on the original Game Boy. The Game Boy Color was just an extension of the original Game Boy, but the Game Boy Color didn't do anything. The Game Boy Color was just came in different colors. It was, I don't understand people's fascination with the Game Boy Color. I feel like that was just y'all first Game Boy. But anyways, did you have a sidekick? Nah, I didn't have a cell phone in high school. I wasn't allowed to have one. My parents loved me. Let me stop. Oh shit. Yeah, I know that's hard to imagine. I'm old, but there was a world where we walked around with no fucking phones. And hear this out, chat. We were okay. Like no, deadass. When I was a kid, if you had a cell phone, you was rich. You gotta keep in mind, I'm old. I graduated high school in 08. The iPhone came out in 07. So the iPhone hadn't even been out a whole year by the time I graduated. So like if you had an iPhone, you was rich. I only knew maybe 1 or 2 kids, and I think one of them got robbed. Same, I miss it. Yeah. So I didn't really get a actual phone until like my 20s, I think, or something like that. We used to be on the house phone. No, I take that back. My first phone when I was either 17 or 18. It was like towards the end of my senior year. I had got a job. I got a track phone, but it was a real basic phone. You could call and text on it. I didn't get my first smartphone until my 20s. So yeah, I'm old. We primarily through high school, you had to call the house phone. We've been over this. Y'all little niggas wouldn't be able to handle that shit. Y'all niggas got anxiety and shit like that. We used to have to call the girl house phone. Yo, is Tiffany home? What the fuck you want with my daughter? Damn, nigga, you know what it is, bro. Come on, you was young at one time. You know what I'm trying to do. Like, she'll be back later. That's what we used to have to do. It wasn't no calling the person and shit like that. You said, okay, but that shit made you a man, bro. I'm not scared of nothing. You had to call the house phone. You could do anything. I had the George Bush phone, whatever that means. Thank God I missed that era. It's not as big as you think it is because you can't miss something you never had. You would have been built for that era because you grew up in that era. You feel me? Anyways, they added new NBA Legends. The Drive camera. This is the main reason I wanted to bring this up. This is interesting. Another highly anticipated ask. This new camera angle gives players the option to see further down the court in a more modern in-game feel. Get that fast break started early and improve your squad's ball movement from end to end. I feel like they're trying to tell us they added the 2K cam. The question is it too late? And a messenger for texting people. The messenger was separate. Making sure your parents weren't spying on your phone calls. Well, nah, my parents couldn't spy on my phone calls because when I got my first phone my senior year, like I said, it was a cheap ass track phone. These days you'd call it a trap phone. I had a trap phone as my first phone, but it wasn't a trap phone back then. It was just a cheap joint, and like I had to put minutes on that joint. But my parents couldn't spy on it because I paid for it. I had a job. Because before everybody was trying to be a streamer and a YouTuber, niggas used to go to work, so that was another thing too. Shit. No, those drug dealer phones, bro. I had that shit, bro. That shit had like a 1 megapixel camera on that shit. That shit was ugly as fuck, bro. But anyways, yeah, they updated. It's cool to see they're still supporting